out, I'm not using any lights, is when we get high, if we need to play higher up on the neck. And when we play higher up on the neck, sometimes by the very nature of the soprano, it has nothing to do with the cheapness or the quality of the instrument. It's simply the scale length and the vibration length. So on a soprano, you may find yourself, you know, that sounds okay. That sound. You'll find yourself oftentimes getting into the plinky, what I call the plinky range. And like I say, this is not the instrument's fault. Doesn't mean that your instrument is not well made or that it's cheap. It's just good old-fashioned physics, sound science, whatever you want. So you may, now if you start playing higher up the neck, you're going to say, oh wow, this could be a problem for me. Plus, I mean, I think the loudest soprano ukulele I have, in fact I'm sure it is, I have another ukulele here, which I don't have near me, but it has a spruce top. And just to put it out there, spruce top ukuleles really have a wonderful volume about them. So anyway, that's one reason why we might want to bump up to a bigger ukulele, is if we want to get a sweeter sound. I'm kind of cramped up here. So, well, I'm doing this backwards. This is the tenor that I have. And we have more frets. We have a lot longer scale length. We have more room to vibrate on those strings. So as I go up, hear that? It's a sweeter sound. Doesn't really get plinky till I hit the 15th fret. And at some point on any ukulele, it's going to get plinky. But at least you've got 15 frets to play with. And this is a tenor size. I meant to grab my concert, and I grabbed my tenor by mistake. But it does. It, you know, and it's probably a little, this is, I changed strings. Somebody's a little off here. Okay. Hear that? And of course you have more volume because your body, the body of the ukulele is bigger. So let me cut to the concert just to be, and this is like the biggest of the three sizes for the C tuning or the older tuning. And I'll get to that in a minute. But let me cut to my concert size uke. So for people with really big hands, they might want a tenor. I did turn that off. Okay. Now this is probably the one I play concert size. I would say I play soprano and concert size the absolute most. But on this one also we find there's that sweetness of sound. Now where am I at? Let's see, that's 5, 7, 10, 12, 13, 12, 13. So now this, I'm still sweet on this one. Now we're getting plinky around the 16th fret. See, it's almost a bell-like tone. Now the other reason you may, well, if you play a lot of your older, I'm stumbling over my words, a lot of your vintage ukulele music, the ukuleles were tuned differently. And they were tuned, if I lay my index finger and bar the 2nd fret, they were, standard tuning for these ukuleles were A, D, F sharp, B. And this is May Singhi Breen played in this tuning exclusively, I believe. A lot of your ukulele players did. And like I say, I have a collection of vintage ukulele music. And this tuning is usually the one used, which means your chords are going to, you know, be a little different and all that jazz. Now, you can get a ukulele capo, and I recommend this highly if you have a concert uke or a tenor uke. You can get a ukulele capo and put it on at the 2nd fret, and guess what? You're automatically in that tuning, and you can just play accordingly. And it's still going to sound good because of the extra vibrating length. You're still going to sound real pretty, and you can have that nice quality of sound and volume. You're not going to lose much. Now, on a soprano, taking up 2 frets, losing 2 frets to a capo is really a lot of loss. So, what I recommend, if you're going to do this with a soprano, and is reasonable, I don't know what's going on. I've noticed the prices of ukuleles have really, really dropped. In fact, I gave myself kind of a late Christmas present. I found 3 ukuleles that I really wanted, and they were so reasonable, I scooped all 3 of them up like within a week and a half. First time in my life I've ever done that. Anyway, if you want to play in that tuning on soprano, I recommend you get a 2nd soprano. I highly recommend that. Get yourself a 2nd soprano and tune it to that tuning, you know, so open tuning. It's this, but open. So that way you're not losing 2 frets. And because every fret matters on a soprano, it really does. But then you can have 1 ukulele in this tuning and 1 ukulele in what I call the 1920s tuning. And so that should make it, it'll make it easier. You're not having to worry about a capo, and just be sure you take both ukuleles with you if you're going to a jam somewhere. But that's it basically, and it's always bugged me. They never, in every discussion, yes, hand size ukuleles, choosing the proper uke for you has a lot to do with the size for your hands. That's very valid. But the sound quality thing always gets overlooked, never gets mentioned until now. So I'm hoping you got some use out of this. I'm hoping that it informed you and you enjoyed it. And I will see you later.